Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We've got a great show in line for you today. I am joined today by Chris Lacey. Sir, Chris, how are you?
I'm doing well, man. How about y'all?
Doing great. I'm doing good.
Good.
So we are going to do like a little versus sort of deal here. You probably see the title of the show. We're doing the 80s versus the 90s. Now, before the fandom loses their collective brains and you start fighting the chat, we're doing this in the spirit of love.
Yes.
I love the 80s. I love the 90s, the 2000s, and whatever else may come after that. It's all Prince to me, but I would be remiss to not think, there's a little fun competition, and sometimes it'd be more than fun, but people competing against, the 80s or the 90s, blah, blah, blah. So with that said, I thought Chris would be excellent to represent the 90s. Very much a lot of just music knowledge in general. But I figured it'd be easy for me. How did I say? The 90s, well, I said the 80s is easy for me to a degree, but there was so much strong material on the 90s that, I could argue both sides of these, but I'd love to hear what Chris comes up with here as we do. So, Chris, with that said, before we get into that, man, I've been seeing your name and your likeness is coming up a lot on certain videos. I saw a video with you at Disneyland, I want to say, or Disney World.
Yes, sir.
What was that one about?
Yeah, so Brad Sundberg was a longtime engineer of Michael Jackson's, worked with him throughout the 80s and 90s. So like as early as Captain EO all the way up to History and Blood on the Dance Floor. So worked with him for a long time, even, set up like all the sound and stuff at Neverland Ranch, things like that. So like he was very, very close to Michael. And I've known Brad for, I think 6 going on 7 years now. And he's become a close friend of mine. And he said, hey, next time you're in town, would love to, treat you to Disney World and all the things. I'm like, all right, cool. And then while we were there, we just decided to go ahead and do an interview, seeing how Disney was one of Michael's favorite places to be. So I just came up with some questions and we just riffed it. So it was a lot of fun. I loved it.
Nice. And maybe we'll get into some Michael related talk after this. We'll see.
Sure.
With that said, let's just get right into it, man. So we got 10 in the chamber. I think we probably really maybe have 20 we could probably do as well.
Yeah.
But we'll start with 10.
Sure.
And since you're the guest, I'm going to allow you to take the first shot.
Okay. All right. Bet.
So what's your first pick?
I'm going to start with what I think is probably his most popular, or one of his most popular songs in the 90s. I got to start with Get Off, man. Got to go with that one. And the reason I pick it is like, as you and I both know as fans, like a lot of folks knew that Prince was kind of slow with embracing hip hop during the 80s. But by the time Get Off came around, like he was able to absorb those new sounds without losing his identity. So for me, like the song is just like an instant mood elevator. You know what I'm saying? Like it's got that throwback funk. It's got that hip hop attitude. It's got the hard rock behind it. You got Rosie Gaines bringing in, those rich gospel harmonies and, Mr. Madhouse, Eric Leeds, on the sax. You know what I'm saying? Like he's giving that song a little extra jolt of personality. But I love how the song tips its hat to James Brown when Prince says, I like 'em fat. I like 'em proud. You got to have a mother for me to move your big ass round this way so I can work on that zip up, like all that. I'm just like, like Prince is back, man. He's back. You know what I'm saying? So classic Prince groove, and for many fans, is one of his best songs of the 90s. So if I got to come out swinging, I'm starting with that.
Yeah. And for the listener, why do you say Prince is back? Like, what was the context of that?
Right? Yeah. So coming out of the 80s, I know a lot of folks kind of consider Batman the drop-off point, which is low-key offensive because Batman's top 3 favorite album of mine. But going into Graffiti Bridge, like that was considered a dud, as far as the film goes. So Prince really needed to, have a comeback of sorts to be like, hey, like, I haven't lost my funk. I've still got it. So when Diamonds and Pearls came out, it was a resurgence of sorts where people were like, okay, like, he's back in his bag and, he's got these hits, behind him. But, Get Off was like it's unlike anything we had heard up to that point. I think probably the last time something that really wowed us like Get Off was probably Batdance. You know, because like nothing else really sounded like it. It's like, like Prince is really in his bag. We hadn't heard anything like this. So didn't really hear that on Graffiti Bridge, but with Get Off on Diamonds and Pearls, that was like that last wow, like, okay, like he's still breaking new ground.
Yeah, I would admit, yeah, Get Off was badass song. I remember when that came out, and it was just like it was a jaw dropper.
Yeah,
just because I couldn't wrap my head around the fact that Prince, like the production of the song, you know, it didn't sound like anything Prince had done before,
right?
But it was like it fit so perfectly with the times, and I was like, damn, how did he? You know, because you say he kind of wrestled with hip hop a little bit, trying it, but the production on this, it was just like no question, like, oh, it's like he nailed it. It's still Prince. But man, he got the drums popping like this. I was like, and then just, you know, he rapping essentially. Yeah, it was just a head buster. I was like, that was a good one. You came out swinging. All right.
So what you got, sir?
There's a couple I could go with this. So I would say this. I would, and because you said James Brown, and it's on my list here, I'm going to do Housequake.
Oh, man.
You know, I think they both are head bust, like they both like sort of stop the record type of songs. So you have to take notice. Literally, Housequake.
Yeah.
And just announcing that, I'm about to tear this bitch up. And it's James Brown funk. You know, I remember when this came out, I was stuck on this song on the album for a long time. You know, and back then for me, you know, I wasn't always like, I didn't love all of the songs immediately when they first dropped. The first album come out, some songs there's no brainers, and I get stuck on those, and the other ones I have to listen to for a while, or I would hear the live versions and be like, oh, now I understand. So with Sign of the Times, and just to put it in perspective for me, so Sign of the Times, the single came out, but I immediately had the 12-inch. So I was listening to La 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 Hee Hee Hee.
Yeah.
Sign of the Times, the song was cool, but it wasn't really my Prince at that time. I was still, I'm a Syracuse child, you know what I'm saying? So I was listening to Prince live, Revolution Live, and that stuck in my brain. And then seeing, you know, Sheridan, Wyoming, and the way the band was at that point, I was stuck in my head, jamming all the time. So, La 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 Hee Hee was like, it's on record. You know, the stuff that I was hearing is on record, is jamming. So I was waiting for the album to be all of that. And, you know, Playing the Sunshine, I was like, that's cool. Of course, Dorothy Parker, I was just like, wait, I'm sorry, let me remember. It goes from Playing the Sunshine to Housequake, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yes. So, So
after opening up with Sign of the Times,
I thought it was cool. And I'm like, okay, this kind of reminds me of, you know, Around the World in a Day vibe or something. But when it just, shut up already.
Damn.
I was like, and then, you know, it was just, for many years, for me, for many years, that was the song. Like, whatever cassette tape, you know, you make a cassette tape of your favorite songs, Housequake always was on. I mean, it just nothing had topped that yet. This is before, you know, Batdance, before Get Off and all that. So it was just, Housequake was that song. And so to me, like, Housequake was this jam. And then to hear it live, it was just like,
oh yeah. I think apart from, you know, like Purple Rain or anything like that, I think Housequake may have been one of the songs that he performed the most in his lifetime too. Like if you really think about it, like, I mean, that was his go-to for getting the party started in a lot of ways. And and I love that you brought up, you know, playing it live, because last year when the movie came out on IMAX, I took my girlfriend to go see it. And she had never seen it before. I was like, man, you to use your word, like, this is about to be a head buster. Like, you need to get ready.
Yeah.
And when Housequake came on, like her jaw dropped. Like she was like, I cannot believe like him doing splits and going across the stage. And I was just like this is everything, man. And then like when he's pretending like he's like, you know, like doing a record and then throwing it back. Like I love all those movements, man. Cause like it's so Prince. It's so Prince.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
yeah.
And it's a badass.
It is. It is, man.
Yeah. All right. Well,
awesome pick, man. Oh, and just for the record, like anybody who knows me knows that like my heart is 80s Prince, but I'm gonna make a strong effort to make a strong case for 90s Prince. So kind of pivoting into a song that I gotta give my good brother Arthur from the Music Snobs a lot of credit on this one. I'm going to go with The Question of You as my next pick.
Ooh.
Yeah. So again, to give credit to Arthur, he helped me realize how brilliant The Question of You really is. When he was at the Batdance 30 Symposium, shout out to Polish Solid, I see you. He described the song as a conversation with God. And when you look at the lyrics, it makes perfect sense. You know, when he says, all of the questions in my life will be answered when I decide which road to choose. What is the answer to the question of you? And he's talking to God, you know, so that's part of what makes Prince such a remarkable writer to me is like he can compress theology, longing, uncertainty in just a few lines. And it doesn't feel heavy handed. It feels genuine. And, you know, we already knew like how brilliant he was on the guitar. So his guitar work is phenomenal. But I forget where I heard this. It was a video I came across a couple of years ago where you hear like boom, 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 boom. Dun, 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 dun. Like the rhythm track is like that's him dribbling a basketball in the studio. I'm like, Prince is different, man. Like he's just built different, you know. So that's another song that to me, like, you know, regardless of how people feel about Graffiti Bridge, Question of You is without a doubt a highlight on that album.
Yeah, I can't even argue on that one.
Yeah,
that's and you know. It's cool. I don't have the vocabulary. Is that like a kind of classic blues riff or something? Boom, 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 boom,
yeah.
I mean, he does it again in
Electric Man.
Time, baby.
Oh yeah, and even the ride. Yeah.
You know, so that's very classic, and that's when it jumped out when I first heard it. I'm like, oh, he's doing something I sort of recognize. You know, I was so used to hearing him like play shit I just had no frame of reference for, but at least I was like, okay. And I was like, what is he going to do? And you're right, man. The way he flips that and fantastic.
Yeah.
All right. So Question of You, and that was from Graffiti Bridge. Mm-hmm. Oh shoot. What would I do? What I have here against that? I would, well, you know what? Darling Nikki.
Oh, damn, man. Oh, man. This is going to hurt, bro. Oh, you hurt me.
Darling Nikki.
Yeah.
And just to say, Darling, and I'm saying Darling Nikki, the Atmos version.
Yeah. The latest release is incredible.
Sounds amazing. I was listening to it the other day and I was like, man, even if you just took this out of context and you let somebody, you know, maybe familiar with Prince just in, you know, the pop zeitgeist of things and play that, to me, that is one of the most hard rocking, funked out, nasty, aggressive songs in his catalog. And it's, you know, I can listen to it and I'm like, wow, this is the guy who made the Dirty Mind album. But look how far he has come. My God. You know, when you listen to the musicianship, you know, him on them drums and then just the guitars and the vocal delivery, man. Like he has gotten to such a confident and a strong just ownership of his voice and how to use it. Mm-hmm. That's just, I mean, that's like when somebody says rock Prince, that's what I want to hear. Like that's just that grit. It has that grit to it, man. And I don't think he's ever done anything. I'm trying to think, is there another song that is that raw sounding to me? Prince on that level. Like it's just a vicious. It's easy for it to be sort of locked into the movie, But I'm saying separate it from the movie for a second and just listen to it sonically, and it's crazy, man. Right.
So I'm thinking about what you just said just now. Like, is there another song that sounds that raw and vicious? Now, it doesn't match the vocal intensity, but I think like the energy and the attitude behind it is there. I would say Bob George. Like, there's nothing as raw and vicious as that song to me.
Definitely the tone of it, I would say.
Yeah, the tone's different. Yeah.
But yeah, just that. Yeah, it's just I was thinking a song like a Dreamer, but I'm thinking maybe just a guitar sort of remind me of it. But even Dreamer is a more refined, master musician Prince. To me, this is just like unorthodox. Like, he's not playing by no rules. It's just like going here and tear this song apart. So, Darling Nikki.
Yeah. No, yeah. So if we're talking about that, then I think Darling Nikki is unmatched. When it comes to the intensity and the rawness to it. So, man, so it's interesting that you chose Darling Nikki because of how unique it is. I'm gonna throw in a curveball, and I'm gonna say that Let's Have a Baby is gonna be my next pick. And so here's the reason I say that. Like Darling Nikki and even Ballad of Dorothy Parker, Let's Have a Baby is unlike anything he's made before or since. So here's what I mean when I say that is like when you hear the fretless bass against the piano, like I can't think of another ballad where he's done it in that way. You know what I'm saying? And as much as we enjoy like the self-aware humor of Adore, there's a playful wink of that in Let's Have a Baby where he says, I can't even go for a ride. Believe me, honey, I've tried. Without thinking about a little baby right there sitting by my side. Like, I love that, like that kind of like, like him kind of giving a wink. So, but yeah, like musically, I can't think of another ballad that, has that fretless bass and the piano playing. And it's just his raw vocal on top of that. Like it's 10 out of 10 in every possible category as a slow jam to me.
Okay. I will say the subject matter, was such a new thing to explore for Prince at that time, and I wish obviously, while it would have been very interesting to see the fatherhood Prince. It gives us a little glimpse into what fatherhood Prince could have been like, but it was very interesting to see if it would have went past that. What fatherhood Prince would have been like, and how that would have the ideology or sort of the mindset of being a dad, and being Prince and a rock star and all that would be very interesting to see. But I like that song. All right, so we going slow jams or?
It's up to you, man. You go whatever pace you want to go, man. It's on you.
I'm not going to go for the obvious, and I don't necessarily compare these two. I'm going to go with "Do Me, Baby." Just another classic R&B song. I think it is, of course, Adore, and Adore is on my list, but Do Me Baby, I think, is the first classic Prince slow jam. If I'm being correct. It could be the first classic Prince slow jam. It is very influential, sampled a lot. You hear it in other, I think Tupac, probably one of the bigger ones who sampled that, To Live and Die in L.A. There's another group. Moken something or
Moken Steph, he's mine.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, bro.
Maybe remember that.
Yo. Dun, 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 dun. Great song.
So I love Do Me Baby because you can hear its influence in the culture. To me, it's one of those songs that, I wasn't into Prince at the time it came out. I barely even knew who he was at that time. I see his picture at that time, but I didn't know who he was. But it's one of those songs that I think it was just one of them slow jams that people played, and regardless of whatever else Prince would have came out with, to me that song was always going to be a staple for when it was slow jam time. You know, like you know, it was one of them ones, man. And I think it still plays at every era. I think it works 80s, 90s, beyond. I think it works in any era. So I think it's one of his greatest songs, period. But yeah, I'd say Doobie Baby.
No, that's dope. That's dope.
And it's from the Controversy.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And I'm going to show my age a little bit for those who don't know. I was born in 1990. So the first time I heard Do Me Baby was when Chris Tucker was singing it in Rush Hour 3 doing Traffic in the opening scene.
Does he do that in that?
Yeah. And so like he's doing Michael Jackson moves and singing Do Me Baby while trying to direct Traffic.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
I never picked up. I'm thinking of the Michael stuff. I didn't realize that's what he was singing.
Yep. That's what he's singing.
That's funny.
All right. So, man, Do Me Baby, that's a hard one. That's a hard one to pivot from. Dang. All right. I'm going to go with a deep cut. It came from the Diamonds and Pearls Super Deluxe set. And I'm going to go with Pain.
Pain. Off the top of my head, I'm trying to put it in my mind. What it sounds like. Yeah.
So, I'm trying to sing how it goes, but I'm not a great singer, so I ain't trying to get roasted. So, but yeah, I can send you the link after we're done and you can hear it. But yeah, it was such a great outtake, and I'm glad that it surfaced on Diamonds and Pearls Super Deluxe because. Like we saw on the Originals album, like we get to hear, you know, Prince lay the emotional blueprint for what Shaka Khan would eventually cover on Pain for the Living Single soundtrack that came out in the 90s. And what I really love about the music aspect of it is like the atmosphere. It feels like you're at like a late night jazz club. It's like real smoky. You're in a back alley type thing, and then you hear Prince and Rosie Gaines singing, but then like the crowd around them is just like they're just drowning their sorrows in alcohol and whatever followed them through the door. So it paints that kind of image in my mind. But Pain is a dope outtake from Diamonds and Pearls, and I should ask, like, does that technically count since it was recorded during that time in the 90s?
As long as if it's in the 90s.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, but yeah, that would be my pick is a Pain. Great outtake from Diamonds and Pearls.
Okay. I'm just going to throw one out here. And you mentioned it earlier. Batdance.
Oh, man. Oh, love that song.
I feel like the Batman album, and maybe it's just, I feel like sometimes it gets forgotten a little bit. And I'll admit, I remember buying it the day it came out. Got the cassette tape, right? This is before the movie came out. And I was hyped. And I was a big fan at the time. I was so hyped. I was, Batman. And I hated the album.
Oh, man.
On first listen, I was just like, what the hell is this? The only songs, again, there's always a couple songs I can't stop playing. And it was Vicky Waiting.
Yeah.
Batdance. And Party Man.
Oh, great.
Those were locked. Especially Party Man and Vicky Waiting, I was locked in. It took me a minute to get into the album. I had to keep listening to it. And it was probably, I don't know when this was aired versus when the album came out. But I remember, the Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
They do
Electric Chair. Yeah.
When I heard it live and I saw it, I was like, oh, snap.
Yeah.
That's the joint on there. And it just unlocked something for me, and then I just fell all into it. But Batdance, I remember when that came out, and man, you talk about popularity. Everybody had on either a Batman hat or the Batman t-shirt.
Right.
It was so much anticipation for this movie. It felt like it was the first time you ever seen a movie sort of get that type of like, I guess then it was a viral thing, but we didn't have the internet. It was just sort of through the media and through the Prince song. And it was so much hype. And that song was so synonymous with all of that, DC, Batman. And that video was crazy. Like,
yeah,
just the sounds like, whoa, what is it? And the song is unorthodox.
It is.
At the time, it was like, what the hell is this? Like these samples and it's cutting, it was just obnoxious, but it was dope.
Yeah.
And when it got to the when he gets to the chicken, that was just so bananas. It was like, oh my God. So I always feel like Batdance is one of Prince's dopest songs. It's not only because musically it was something very different, but just, it really showed how big he was, where, a big IP like Batman, to launch the new sort of introduction of a superhero movie again. Mm-hmm. They teamed up with Prince and it worked. Like, I don't know, how it would have played later, but it absolutely worked. I mean, the song killed it. And I don't think a lot of people some people would not associate Prince with that. You wouldn't think, like, why would they get Prince? Obviously, the synergy between Warner Brothers and all that. Mm-hmm. But when you heard the song, you couldn't, and it harkened back to, when we grew up watching the Batman 60s show on TV, and they went, Batman! And he kind of does that in the song.
Right.
Batman, so it was just like, oh, yes, it's a newer version of this, So, Batdance was brilliant, man.
Yeah. Again, to quote you, like it's a head buster, and it's one of my favorite songs on Batman. Again, top 3 album for me. Oh. And as far, I love that you brought up the music video, because to me, it's a lot like Thriller. Like, it's a great piece of musical theater when you watch it. Because, like, when you see him, like, beneath the gothic makeup, you see his soul in a spiritual tug of war between good and evil. Yeah. So, like, to me, that's just super dope. Like, it's just a great extension of what Prince was able to do. And again, I know he's often looked at, as more for his musicianship and, being a live showman, all the things. But when it comes to his music videos, especially Batdance, I think that's one of his best creations from top to bottom.
You're absolutely right, man. It's just, it's not a hard argument to say. I never thought about it. I mean, could that be one of his greatest videos? I mean, just in terms of the scope of it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a video that would match that. I'm sure there were, but at least at that time, I don't think he had a bigger budget type video. I'm trying to think if I'm missing.
Yeah, not on that level. Yeah. I mean,
Raspberry Beret or something.
Yeah, I mean, if we had to kind of do a Mount Rushmore of his music videos, I would say When Doves Cry, Raspberry Beret, Kiss, and then Batdance. Like, to me, those are the big 4.
Wow. Yeah. I would throw Get Off in that.
Oh, yeah. Get Off is in there, too. Yeah, that's in there.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. What you got for me, sir?
I appreciate you being a man of the people, bringing up Get Off. I appreciate that. But yeah, let's see. My next pick, I'm going to go
5th one, right?
Yeah. This would be my 5th pick. And I'm going to go back to Graffiti Bridge, and I'm going to pick what I believe is a flawless gospel tune. I'm going to go with Elephants and Flowers.
Ooh.
Yeah. That's my cut. So, for me, again, I know the movie divides a lot of fans and critics, but Elephants and Flowers, like, to me, it has the same spiritual joy and conviction that defined a lot of Love Sexy. Like, it just sounds like it's thrilled to be alive. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And you can hear that joy in lyrics, like, when he says, love the one who is love, the one who gives us the power, the one who made everything, elephants and flowers, the one who will listen when all others will not. There will be peace for those who love God a lot. Like, I think if anybody else sang those songs, like, they'd be laughed out of the studio, but it hits different when it's Prince because of the conviction behind his voice. So yeah, again, it does have that Love Sexy flavor to it, but I think it's a great fit for Graffiti Bridge and one of the high points on the album.
Yes. Yeah. One of my favorites.
Yeah.
If I was being petty, I was going to throw I Would Die For You, but I'm not.
Oh, that's one of
on my list.
Wow. See, that just goes to show, like, Prince was a whole cheat. He was a whole cheat code, bro. Like, that's why.
The cheat code, I could have just took Purple Rain and Sign of the Times.
And that's it.
But that's not, I don't want to do that. All right. So, man, Elephants and Flowers, Graffiti Bridge. This is your second Graffiti Bridge pick, right?
That's right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nice. Man, there's so many places to go.
I know
this. Let me just get some of the bangers out the way.
Go ahead.
She's it's obvious choice. When Doves Cry.
Oh yeah.
And I'm When Doves Cry, the Atmos version.
Yeah.
It's an assault in a good way to your ears.
Mm-hmm.
The drums, the way he programmed the drums, the vocal delivery, the lyrical content, the guitar work. In a sense, it is so unorthodox, but it perfectly works. There's no bass in the song. Bass is just a kick drum. It's just like, how could you just leave me standing alone in a world and so cold? Man, if there's ever, I don't know if it's a documentary or movie, whatever, they have to show the how that song affected everything when it came out. The same way, and I think there are TV reports. I want to say there was a 60 Minutes thing about this. The same way when Michael Jackson's Rock With You came out. And that just chokehold the country. Like,
everybody.
What you knew the song. You wouldn't even probably playing R&B, but you knew that it was just a synonymous song. When Doves Cry, man, like my mom, she's not a Prince fan at this time. She liked, more contemporary stuff. She's speaking of George Benson. She used to be a Rick James fan. Well, when I was a very little kid, so it'd be very interesting to see what she would have thought of Prince at that time. But she had turned herself over to the Lord by this time, so that was out of the door. But I remember, we would listen to the radio back then in the car, and when Doves Cry came on, and I keep in mind, I didn't even know who Prince was. Like, I had seen pictures of Prince and I had seen Little Red Corvette, but I didn't associate that was him in this, until I seen the video. But it was a song that played on the radio, and they would play it damn near every hour. It was.
Yeah.
So I knew the words to the song. Didn't even have the record. And my mom knew the words to the song. It was one of them songs. They just played it over and over, and it was dope. You didn't hear nothing like it before. So it was just one of those songs, like, it was a smash. If that movie had not even came out, it would still be one of them smash songs that you remember from years ago. Oh, remember when? It reminds me of sitting in the back of the car, and my mom jamming out. And I had, it's funny to me that was Prince that she was jamming to, because, if I say that today, I didn't listen to no Prince. Yeah, she did. So, so I say all that to say, When Doves Cry, the effect that song had immediately when it came out was very interesting. And of course, is a staple Prince song.
Yeah.
That's one of them. If somebody say Prince, more than likely somebody's going to say When Doves Cry or Purple Rain or something. But it earns that. That song is bananas. It is the perfect. To me, I would say it's almost one of the perfect introduction songs. If you just wanted to give somebody Prince for the first time, and it was like, you're not going to not like this. Like, just play that. Oh,
no, that's an excellent point. Yeah, that's an excellent point. And I'll tell you what trips me out about When Doves Cry, man. Like, the fact that he was 26 years old, and this is the wavelength that he was operating on is just crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, he blurred the lines between rock, pop, funk, soul, and even some classical bits in there. Like, you hear all of that in When Doves Cry. And I believe it was his first and most successful #1 hit, because I think it was at the top of the charts for like 5 weeks, I want to say. Mm-hmm. And what's even crazier is, like, that was the last song recorded for Purple Rain. So, like, the fact that a 26-year-old Prince pulled that off is, like, that's one of the greatest mysteries of music to me. Like, nothing like him.
I've said this before, but I always remember one thing. I always remember about the song. It was shortly after it came out. It was a hit, and here locally in Seattle, they have a summer music festival called Bumper Shoot. And that, I don't know if it was the next year, but it was the Bumper Shoot, and they were one of the groups they brought in was Africa Bambaataa Soul Sonic Force. I'm like, yeah, and I was heavy hip hop at the time. So
Yeah.
So what was the song that they do that blew my goddamn mind? They covered When Doves Cry. And it was dope as hell. I was like,
it's crazy.
And it just goes to show, like, the kings of hip hop, you know, one of the architect dudes, we doing When Doves Cry, and everyone sang along to it. You know, it's just that level. So that's why I was like, yeah, that song. And then you listen to, I mean, to me, it crosses genres again, you know, even though I don't think he even realized what he's not trying to do that. But yeah, for hip hop, yeah, give us that. The way them drums is kicking and the attitude, the way he's singing about it. That's us all day. So yeah, I tip my hat to Prince on that one.
No, that's good. And real quick story, kind of dovetailing off what you said about, you know, Prince and his relationship with hip hop. There's a story that I remember, Playa, who is one member of the Peach and Black podcast. Another good friend of mine all the way out in Australia. Shout out to him. He was at a Naughty by Nature concert and they played Pop Life and the crowd went crazy.
Yeah, man.
So it's like, you know, like hip hop heads are like, yo, like Prince was one of the ones, you know, so I appreciate that. Like, I never knew that Africa Bambaataa and, you know, Soul Sonic Force did that. Didn't know that they covered When Doves Cry. So like you dropped some knowledge on me. That's really dope. So, all right. So I'm going to go with what I think is his sign of the times of the 1990s and is Money Don't Matter Tonight.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Got to. Again, like I love like the moody jazz element to it. But again, just like the storytelling behind it is super dope as well. Like, just the things that he's touching on, like it feels like he could have written that like back in the 70s and it still would have hit. You know what I'm saying? Like it has that Curtis Mayfield, Marvin Gaye, what's going on kind of feel to it. Yeah. But there is a lyric that he says in there towards the end. He's like, anything's better than a picture of a child in a cloud full of gas and you think you got it bad. So like when I hear that and I think of, you know, what's happened recently in Minnesota with, you know, with the riots and stuff like that, that lyric just puts me in perspective of like, man, like, you know, when I think my life is in shambles, I got to think about other people that are, you know, going through it way worse than me. Like I'm pretty fortunate, all things considered. So, but yeah, just to me, it's his sign of the times of the 90s and it's absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Yes. That was a single too. I remember.
Yeah.
It has 2 music videos.
Yeah. Spike Lee. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. That song, that was one of the songs when that album came out. That was an immediate like, I was like, oh, seriously, this is dope. Just the drums, the way they recorded the drums and the sound of it. And again, it was one of those songs when I was one of my musician cats back then, and he was older than me. And so for him, Prince was everything before proper, you know. Yeah. And he kind of was like, he's that nigga tripping out. But I remember playing, I was like, man, you got to hear his new, and this was when it came out. So you got to hear this new one. I remember playing in the car and he was in the car and he looked at me and he was like, this is Prince. I was like, I told you. He didn't want to give it up. Really, he just, let me get a copy of that, man. I told you. I was like, he not done, dog. But yeah, that song is, I almost wonder if that's like classic Prince. It sounds like, I think you mentioned, it could have, I could hear him doing that on the first couple records or something. Like it just has that, it's the same vibe to me when I think of Strange Relationships. Yeah. Or on some levels, Wouldn't You Love to Love Me?
Oh yeah, I could hear it. I could hear it.
That way that he does his R&B when he's in his R&B bag, it's a certain Pop Life, very similar.
Pop Life is another one.
Yeah, you know, he has that style. So I love that song. All right, so we're at number 6.
Yeah, that was my number 6 pick.
I'm going straight for your neck for the rest of these. Nothing.
All right, man, you mean to tell me you've been taking it easy on me, bro? Dang, come on, bro.
I've been playing the PC word, but now I'm taking people's heads off.
All right, let's go for it.
So we got Money Don't Matter. Yeah. Okay, what do I? listen. Yeah, we have to go. We're going in. And I want to show the other homies. So 777-9311.
Dang it, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry.
Gosh. Hey, you weren't lying, bro. Oh. All right, go ahead, man. I'm
full barrels. You just listen to it, okay? That and on one hand, I love that that's the time, and because it is like it needs to be celebrated. On the other hand, in 2026 and beyond, I need that song to get spotlighted so people can hear, yo, he was a bad boy, like
big time.
The funk on that, we don't get to hear that very often. And I love my people of today. I'm not going to even say their name, but the artists, they doing their thing. But there is a difference when you listen to that, the syncopation of it, the fact that he took a stock beat out of that drum machine and flipped that, the bass playing, the guitar, the way he's singing it, taking somebody's phone number and flipping that into a jam. And the fact and the guitar solo on this song is ridiculous. So to me, this is like, I wish, and I say I wish we have it. I mean, it's the Time albums. There's the Prince that we know, and you can listen to his records. But then there's also the Prince, and I want people to not think of it as the Time. There's the Prince that is taking your head off, and he's going for broke on the whole album. And that's to me what the Time album, they going for broke the whole album. Like, we came here to shut it down. We're only going to throw these slow jams on here because we like the ladies, first of all, but even the slow jams are classic.
Yeah.
So to me, it's just like, and it's only 6 songs. We give you one sort of throwaway, we're just having fun. But the rest of his stuff is slaughterhouse bangers, and 777-9311 to me is just that absolute classic. It's top tier. Yeah, man. It's he can't even. I personally, he ain't never even topped that. Like, and that's okay, because he don't have to. He already did it. But yeah, 777-9311. Morris Day, The Time, Prince. And this just, and I picked this also because his Protege game in the 80s to me is unmatched. Not to say that Rosie Gaines is fun.
Yeah.
But the only thing, we didn't get a Rosie album.
Nah, I know, man.
So I'm just saying like that. So, but yeah, The Time.
Man, you cut the legs up from under me, bro. Man, like that's probably my favorite song by The Time.
Oh wow.
And anytime I see Prince play bass on that is insane, man. Like, it's just boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom.
And you mentioned the live, like, and it's like he knew, like, you know, if he knows it's that dope, and he knows we anticipate, we want to see him do it so bad. He almost like it's like he's just kind of teasing us. It was rare that he really just leaned into that shit. You know what I mean? Like, he would give it to you like in between some other shit, like, break it down. Let me, but I wish he would have been like, no, we're gonna do the whole goddamn. I don't even know how you would start that. Like,
yeah, because I guess it starts with the kick drum. So like that's really like boom, 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 boom.
Yeah. Even when you hear that, I guess you so associate. I mean, he probably like you so associated with Time, but
yeah,
I just wanted to be in the timeline where it was like the new Prince thing, and they just. And
you can let me know if you agree with this, because I want to say I read it in Torre's book, I Would Die for You, and I think he said that the reason that Prince gave those kinds of songs away is that he didn't want it to be put in a box, you know, of like, okay, like he's an R&B artist. Like he had greater aspirations to go beyond just the the label of black music. Like he was like I'm that and then some. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm with you. Like I wish that would have been one of the songs that he kept, because I like that song is phenomenal to me. So
yeah, and I wish this was something we talked about this morning on another show. I wish he didn't even have to deal with I'm an R&B artist or whatever, like those labels, because I mean, first of all, you came in the game as an R&B artist,
right?
Right. But I can understand back then saying I'm an R&B, or I hate to say it, even saying I'm a black artist. There was a certain stigma to that. Oh, you are? Okay, well, you can sit over here and you can get this budget and everybody else can get this budget.
I mean, going as far as even call it the black chart back in the day, like that's what it was called. You know, I'm just like, dang. Yeah. And I want to say Jam and Lewis, they were on the Breakfast Club and they were talking about, just how things were back then. Like over in Europe, it's not separated in these different genres. It's like, hey, you either make the final cut or you don't.
Right.
And I think that's how we should be over here as well in the States. Because I think Prince would have dominated a lot of those spots if he wasn't being pushed over to the black chart or whatever it was, back in the day. So, but no, man, that's a fantastic pick, man. I don't know where to go with that. Like that's crazy.
Heart. Your heart desire.
Yeah, man. Oh man. All right. So it's interesting that you make that reference from the Love Sexy show, because this song originally was written in 88 and then it got released in 93. And I'd be remiss if I didn't include this for the ladies. Got to go with Pink Cashmere.
Ooh.
Yeah.
When I was putting my list together, that thing, I was like, wait a minute, I can't.
Yeah, I know. And I was on the fence. I was like, do I use it? Like technically, like, so again, shout out to my boy Jahan, also from the Music Snobs, good friend of mine. Ran this list by him and he was like, hey, like your whole list from top to bottom, like, even though I'm not that big of a 90s Prince fan, like I could respect it. And I was like, hey, like, do you think I should leave Pink Cashmere on here? And he said, yeah, because like musically, when you listen to other things that were out around that time, it does fit what was going on in the early 90s. So, and again, I love Claire Fisher's orchestration on there. Prince, of course, goes crazy on the guitar. But yeah, just lyrically, just it's brilliant. And I believe Anna Fantastic was the one that inspired that song, if I remember right. So, so yeah. I got to include that in there. I know it's on the hits and B-sides, but again, if it came out in 93, then we got to include that in there.
Yeah, you got it. No, that's again, I remember when that dropped out, I was just like, because what was the other song? I think the Pope or something.
Yeah, Pope. Peach is on there too. Like that was a new one.
I was kind of like, didn't know where Prince was going at this particular time. This was right. Was this after Diamonds and Pearls?
Yeah, it was after.
And I remember hearing that, and I didn't know it, but now I understand. Yeah, this is not from that time period. This is because I listened to it. I'm just like, God, and boy, if that would have came out back. But I loved the way when it did come out. I loved the way it was used in the story of the movie. Can't think of the name.
Girl Six. Yeah.
That was
that's dope. That's dope.
All right. Yeah, I give you that. That was a good one. All right.
So what you got?
Let's just go in. Again, I'm going to stick with the Protege here for a second, just to show. I'm going to say The Glamorous Life.
Salute to Sheila.
Take your pick. Sheila's version or the Prince version that's on Originals, I think it's called.
Yeah.
And I listened to that again, obviously, and I was like, this could have been a banger for him too.
That's true.
You know what I mean? It would have been different, but it was been just as different as it needed to be. But it's like, God, this would have been a pop. I could see the video of him doing this. It would have sort of put him in a different lane. Like I could have seen it after Purple Rain. So you get more of the smiling sort of Prince and not the dark brooding, the kid and 1999 Prince, but the Prince that you see in Parade or even Around the World in a Day for that matter.
I agree. Baby, I'm a Star. vibe.
Yeah, I can see a little bit of that too. I can see a little bit of that, but I can definitely have seen, you know what? Yeah, I'm glad you said that now, because in another timeline, the kid could have did this in the movie.
Easy.
And that would have been wild.
Yeah.
He could have been talking about Apollonia. That would have been something else. Glamorous. I would have like, oh shit.
Yeah.
You know. And the thing is that this song is a signature song for Sheila E.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you think of Sheila E.,
you think of this
life. This is a classic song. You know, when it came out, I had no idea the connection. It would just be this video I would see on, like on Friday night videos or something. It was on the weekends at nighttime when they would run the videos. And I remember seeing, I was like, oh, I thought it was some New York thing. I thought she was out in New York or something. I just didn't know. But yeah, the glamorous life, Prince. This sits, you know, there's a couple other songs that are going to sit with this. The other one I didn't put on here, but it'd be like Nothing Compares to You. And I say that in the sense of, in the 80s, Prince was writing songs that other artists, they be their signature song.
Yeah.
You know, I feel for you. You know, for some people, when they think of Shaka Khan, of course, Sweet Damn, let me not sound crazy. But for a certain generation, I feel for you. They heard that before they may have heard Sweet Thing or something. And that's a signature song for Shaka. Sinead O'Connor. It's a signature song for Sinead O'Connor. Yes, it came out with the family first. I prefer their version, but I'm not going to act like when she put it out, it didn't become a worldwide smash. Glamorous Life, another signature song. So I'm just using this as to show, he was writing them joints for people that became their existence. Like their career is based off of these joints to some degree. They had stuff going on before, but we remember when they sang Prince songs. That's what we remember you by. That's why I'm putting that on there.
Man, again, you ain't lying when you going for the juggler, bro. Like it's just it's unfair. It's unfair, man. All right, so I'm gonna pivot over to the Gold Experience album. To me, that is his best album of the '90s, and I'm gonna pick. And I'm noticing like a lot of the songs that I picked, a lot of them are like ballads or slow jams, because to me, like it's some of the best work that he's done as far as like slow jams and ballads. So I gotta go with Gotta go with that. Gotta go with it. It is. Okay. It's the kind of slow jam that is like so intoxicating. It's a mystery how anyone still has their clothes on when that song's playing. You know what I'm saying? like it is so dope. It's just that break it down. I don't want nobody, like all that. And then to know that Tevin Campbell also covered it too. And it's just as dope. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's great. And anytime Prince plays that song live, like I think probably, I mean, as far as like having Michael B, Sonny T, like all like that's great. But if I had to pick, I guess I don't want to say a definitive live version, because I mean, again, he slayed it anytime he did it. But hearing John Blackwell on drums while Prince is going into Shush is something else. But yeah, that's another one of those like elite slow jams. And again, some of them you've already mentioned. Like after laying the groundwork in the 80s of those slow jams and ballads, like you got to wonder, like, does he still have it? And when you hear Shh, he still got it. Like he's still over the fence, like crazy. So yeah.
So Shh, let me be clear. For me, this is the pick, but I would say the NBA All-Star Weekend Park performance of
Yes
is the absolute definite take on this song.
That's fair.
For me, did I hear? That's the first way I heard. Well, aside from first way I heard it was Tevin's came out first.
Gotcha.
First. And I remember they were playing on the radio. At least here, I remember hearing it on the radio, and I remember hearing it on the radio, and I was like, I was just shocked that Tevin was singing that. Like I was like, because he was a little kid, I was like, this is on some grown folks, and I was like, this is dope. And it was later when I looked it up. I was like, oh, this is a Prince song. I was like, oh my God. And then the performance that I'm talking about, I had seen that. I think I ordered a VHS copy of this, The Beautiful Experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is back when you would order them out of the magazines.
Mm-hmm.
And so I remember ordering that through the mail and finally showed up at my door, putting that in. And when it got to that part, and it blew my mind. I was like, yeah, because Prince kind of was like out of the mainstream at this point.
Yeah.
You know, so you kind of had to really look for it, and they wasn't putting stuff out. And I kind of heard about the gold thing, and I was like, it's just not coming out. What's going on? So when I was watching, I just was like, yo, he's not back. He's kicking ass. Like, this is ridiculous. That guitar solo. I'm like, stop it. I was so hyped on this song. I took that video. There wasn't no internet back then, but I was like, yo, you know, I like to do this type of shit. So I enrolled in a class at Public Access, local public access.
Oh, wow.
That was how you got access to use their equipment. You had to go through the class. So I enrolled into that. I also shot up my own music video, which I'm not going to talk about. But the other thing was I put together a show. And it's, I think about it now, I didn't have any equipment. I had a double VCR decks. So I edited a show together of Prince videos. And the spotlight of it was going to be this performance.
Wow.
It hadn't came out in America. So I was like, oh, man, people got to see this. This is ridiculous. So I had this whole show done. I got the time slot on TV. It was going to be one time, late at night, public access. But my dumb ass, I had printed up some flyers, right? And I took a couple to Tower Records, local Tower Records, and I put them up in Tower Records. They had a bulletin board, right? And I just had the Prince symbol. I don't even remember what I put on there. It was like, Prince going to come on, da-da-da-da. You're going to see. Why was that at work? And it was like, hey, Mike, you got a call. Okay.
Oh, no.
Yeah, well, this is Michael. Is this Michael Dean? Yeah. Well, this is Karen from Paisley Park. Who told you you could play? I ain't going to tell you the rest of it.
Oh, wow.
Suffice to say, you know, she had already called the TV station. They already pulled it, you know. But that's how hyped I was.
Dang.
Over that performance. And I would put that on every cassette tape I have. I would just listen to that overall. So, yeah, the song sits right up there to me with the Do Me Babies, The Doors, I Hate You, Beautiful Ones. Blah, blah. Yeah, that's, man, I had to my hat to you on that one. Yeah, that's.
Yeah. And that story you just told, I think that's the first time I heard that. And I want to say you would have been, 24 when you did that?
Probably, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's definitely some 20 type ish to do.
And salute to whoever snitched me out.
Yeah.
Who went to town. So, yeah, I'm like way over here in Seattle. How would I get a call from Minneapolis? How would they even know? But apparently somebody saw that.
Wow.
I can't do that. And I'm sitting there trying to plead with her. I'm like, because you want to know where I got it from. And I'm like, oh, I just ordered this in a magazine. I didn't know nothing about bootleg and really necessarily something.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not selling it. I was just I just thought it was dope. You know, I just wanted, see if it's like, oh, you can't do that. He doesn't want people to see it like that. Okay.
That's fair.
All right. Wow. So what did I say?
No, that's great.
Man, I could be reactionary to put something against that, the obvious choice, but I want to do something different. So,
all right.
Because there's so many I'm going to leave out. So my next pick, again, this is favorite songs of the 80s versus, I'm going to say Little Red Corvette Dance Mix.
Oh, yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
You know, that song, Little Red Corvette, for a long time, you know, early on, that was like one of the Prince songs you just had to play all the time. Like it was, yo, Little Red Corvette, yeah. You know, Mr. Little Red Corvette, yo, you got to play. And that was probably one of the early Prince songs that I kind of started to pay attention. You know, I remember seeing the video. The video was like on MTV a lot. And I was like, oh, okay. I didn't know what to make of Dude because I just had never seen anything like that before. But the song was just so incredible. I was like, wow, I love that. It was not something that I would normally have played myself. And so when I heard, I was like, God, this is such a mix. And at the time, MTV was so strong that, you know, there's other music genres, but I almost feel like there was an MTV genre, and it included, you know, a lot of stuff from overseas, a lot of the 80s rock stuff, and of course, stuff like this. And it just all melded together very well. You know, I think of Human Leagues and the Lewis's in the News and the Men at Works and the Princes and the, you know, stuff that I would normally not have ever listened to. But because they had my absolute attention watching whatever they were showing to me, I fell in love with all of those songs and know all of them because of that. And it opened other genres up to me. And Little Red Corvette, I'm already in an R&B kind of lane, but that sort of opened me out to see, yo, this is, you know, this other stuff here. This works with both of that. And the version that I picked, the Dance Mix remix, I didn't hear that back then. You know,
yeah.
So I don't think I would have handled it. This is absolutely fantastic take on this song. And Prince just shows why he is the master early on with that one. I don't have to say too much on that.
No. You're absolutely right. That 12-inch version is insane. And I'll tell you, when I used to write for Albumism a few years ago, I did a piece on this album, and I did not know this until I did research on the album, that the title track 1999 sort of was a dud when it first came out, but because of the success of Little Red Corvette, they re-released 1999, and then it became a bigger hit at that point. So like that just speaks to, again, you know, just the pure craftsmanship that went into making Little Red Corvette. And I agree with you. When I got I think it was on Ultimate Prince, the dance mix.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When I heard that, I was like, yo, like there's more of this. And then hearing the chicken grease guitar, I was like, yo, I'm done. You're done.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Mayday.
Right.
She knows. But yeah. That, you know, it's interesting you said that about 1999. Yeah, because this time, in the way that I was hearing Prince, was just through my cousin, Jackie. She was from Houston. And out there, you know, you would have thought whatever is popping in the street today, or I don't even know if they still, whatever like has everyone in a chokehold. I know in Houston, Texas, in the 4th, 5th ward area, 1999 had them in a chokehold. Like I was visiting there in '83, and I didn't at the time I didn't understand what that was, but I remember seeing the album cover. So I was, they was playing that. It was the 1999 album, and that's all they was. I mean, when I'm talking about, that's all they was playing. You go into the parties, they was playing Prince, you know, or the time. Man. You know, so it was a different time. But so when you say 1999, it wasn't a pop hit, but in the black area,
yeah, it was a hit.
It was
with us.
Kids, they was rocking that hit. So yeah,
man, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah. Right, again, being born in 1990, like I have no choice but to live vicariously through cats like you, like, you know, OGs of like, hey, like here's how it used to be. I was like, man, if only I could have been there, bro. If only I could have been there. But
it's on you.
All right, so yeah, this is pick number 8 for me. No. I think this is number 9. Yeah, this is pick number 9 for me. I'm gonna go with one of my favorite songs on the Love Symbol album. I'm gonna go with "And God Created Woman." That's one of the coldest songs on the album, bro.
Classic.
Yeah. And again, I know I'm ballad heavy on my list, but there's no way I can't pick that song, man. No way I can't pick it.
I was thinking you was either going to do that or Love to the Nine. But
see, I started to go there, but here's what took Love to the Nines out of it is Tony M's rap, bro. I had to. Like, if there was a version that existed where it's not him rapping, all due respect to Tony M, just his rap don't do it for me. It doesn't do it.
Point now. I have to have it, but I understand.
Wow. Okay.
I understand. I used to be, but I'm at the point. It's a part of the song.
Gotcha.
I'm not trying to convince nobody.
That's fair. But yeah, In God Created Woman, man. Like again, like when Prince is in his bag and like tapping into that spirituality piece.
Yeah.
And again, this is one of the more to me, this is kind of a theme that I noticed with him, like even back in the 80s. Like, you know, like he was very like to me, he was one of the people on the forefront of elevating women in the music industry. You know, you see what he did with, you know, Vandy Six, with Sheila E. and all the things. So when I hear a song like And God Created Woman, you know, especially as a Bible believing Christian, like I appreciate the fact that he's literally taking Genesis 1 and 2 and putting it on wax. Like I love that. And then when you take the R&B, jazz, soul feel of it and just like everything, like there's nothing wrong with that song. It is literally perfect from start to finish for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. I don't remember him doing that live, and that's one of those ones that I wanted to hear live so bad. God,
yeah.
Especially even in later years, I couldn't see that could have been really special. When he had like all those horns and stuff.
Yeah.
Or even the musicology band, I could see them.
Yeah. Have like the MPG horn head or something on it. Yeah.
That
would have been crazy.
That song is, that's one of them. That's one of them songs. I have to give it to you right there too. I still play that to this day.
Yeah, no, it's great. All right, Woo! Number 9. What you got? Number 9.
Again, I'm not going to even necessarily try to compete with that because I just love that. But I want to make sure this gets mentioned. Lady Cab Driver.
Oh, see, I was wondering when you're going to pick that song because I know it's one of your favorites, bro. I knew it. I was waiting.
Lady Cab Driver, again, one of those ones that I cannot play 1999, the album, without not playing that. Sometimes that's the only one I play off of that.
Wow.
To me, you know, I'm a fan of the 82 83 Prince, you know, just the music of that. I love the way he made his songs. So I'm talking 1999, the time stuff. And this just fits right into that. This to me would be like the first Crystal Ball. Like, because it starts one way, it moves through, doing all this stuff. It is a whole movie unto itself.
Yeah.
To me, it's the centerpiece of the album. That's just
wow.
From where it's placed on the album and the length of it and what he's doing in the song. I think it's the first time you really hear cinematic Prince in my mind, where it's sort of epic level. It starts kind of, you know, and then it explodes. And when the guitar comes in, the stuff with Jill Jones, you know, there's some disturbing stuff in this song. You know, what is going on? But that to me is everything Prince was at that time. Like, he was doing some wild stuff, but it was so imaginative and it was so funky. I was listening to it the other day, and on the right ear, it's that guitar, you know, at the end of the song where he's playing the guitar lick.
Yeah, it's killing it.
But he's playing that guitar is in this right ear, the whole song. And if you just stop and try not to get caught up, because there's another guitar over here. Yeah. There's the bass guitar and all this. But if you just kind of listen to this guitar in the right ear, when it really starts to wind up, man, he's going out of his goddamn mind, going crazy.
Yes.
It's so funky. It's almost buried a little bit, but I'm telling you, listen to, that's why I wish they have if they could do an Atmos of this album, the other Chris I'm talking to, because I just couldn't imagine. It's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's just, and the way he sings it, and even the way this is for the wind that blows.
Yeah.
You know, that Prince is almost like the Prince from Dirty Mind controversy. It's like, I'm still here. I'm a little older. I'm more refined with this shit. But this the same almost satirical kind of attitude that he has was just so present in that moment. I'm still trying to figure out what was the point of, you know, it's like he's making these declarations, but he's doing it while he's waxing that ass.
Yeah. He's like,
most people
that's
are like,
you,
why
that's
would you
what
do
that one's for.
Doing? But that's what made Prince great to me. And that's very hip hop as well. Cause it reminds me, it's the same attitude for me when I listen to Ice Cube or something. It's like he could be saying some real insightful things, but he says it in a way where it's like, dude, you know, and so in Ice Cube's case, you know, he's on, you know, and then he'll say something and I'll smack him. And I was like, but that's his world. Is whatever your world, that's your world. It's an interesting worldview. I don't necessarily agree with all of it, but it's fascinating to see. And it's just fascinating to see Prince at that time. But one, what he's talking about, and the music, the way he's illustrating, and he's pulling from a lot of funk roots and just different things. And it's just a fantastic track. Like I said, it's just early Crystal Ball, but what it would have sounded like in the early 80s in a time when Zapp and Cameo and all these other older funk bands are transitioning to more of a techno electro type funk. He's the king of that, like the synthesizer. But I think on this song, he shows you, I might be, don't get it twisted. Yeah, I can do all the whiz bang sounds, but if you just give me the bass and guitar, I'll take you back to, you know, just some straight funk, 3-man band, you know, jamming down at the pool hall type shit. But it just sonically sounds like the new hip thing sonically, but it's that, you know, he killed that. And then, it made it sound like a flute. I don't know why that reminds me of Curtis Mayfield or something, but just fantastic. I don't
know. There may be a song out there that I'll have to think of it. If I think of it, I'll hit you and be like, hey, is this what you were thinking of? And but there was one line in, it's so quick, like a lot of people could miss it, but to me, it's one of the, like, an entire, like, you know, like bloggers could do a whole article on this. Not knowing where I'm going is galaxies better than not having a place to go. That is a super dope line.
Now I know.
And now I know, like that, man, like I could see people like on Twitter, like doing a whole thread on just that lyric alone and like how they relate to it. But again, it's in there for a moment and you just move on, but it's so profound. So profound.
It was a science fiction Prince. Like, you just, you know, I can see it in he was on some futuristic type shit too.
That's true.
Anyway, so that's what is that? That was 9. So you got one more.
Yeah, I got one more. But one more thing I'll say, because I love what you said there about futuristic. I read online that that Prince was heavily inspired by I'm gonna butcher the pronunciation of his name, so I'll just spell it as Vangelis. He was the composer of Blade Runner. The movie Blade Runner.
Oh yeah.
I think it's Vangelis or Vangelis. I'm going to butcher the pronunciation, but a lot of the synthesizer work that was done on that album or that motion picture score inspired Prince while he was doing 1999. So I hear what you're saying when it comes to the futuristic.
Visually, I would just argue visually, the picture in the liner notes sort of recalls that.
Yeah. So he was definitely on his Blade Runner, Ridley Scott type ish. With that one, I agree with you.
Nice.
All right. So my last song.
Wait, before you do that.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Can you tell us what you've had so far?
Yeah. I'll go through it real quick. I've done Ain't Got Creative Woman, Elephants and Flowers, Get Off, Let's Have a Baby, Money Don't Matter Tonight, Pain, Pink Cashmere, Shush, and then The Question of You.
Okay. Solid. Solid. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. So it's only right that my last song comes from New Power Soul. Best song on the album. The One. Gotta go with The One. Got it. Yeah. You probably thought I was going to say shoo-be-doo. That's probably what you were hoping for.
I would have did. Well, I thought you were going to say, no, what's the other one? Come on.
Oh,
come on,
no, it's not Mad. No, not Mad Sex. What is it?
Oh, come on.
Yeah. Come on. Yes. I was thinking to Come On.
I'm not the one.
Yeah. The One is Yeah, like you got Rhonda on bass, you got Prince killing it. The music video is dope as well. You know, you got Maite in there. So it's just like, again, another one of those elite ballads that, again, like even after he's fallen out of the limelight, the man still has it. You know what I'm saying? And to me, it is arguably the best song on New Power Soul. There's a lot of songs on there that are great. And along with Shooby Doo, I know that's your cut. But yeah, the one is, again, that to me is the best song on the album. And I mean, it speaks for itself. Honestly, speaks for itself. I don't need to say anything else. Just go play it.
Yeah, you know, I totally forgot about that song. You just not think about it, but you're right. That is a class. That's one of those that goes up there with the greats.
Yeah,
man. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put together my own just slow jam Prince playlist. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that has to go on there. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Let me say the ones I said. So, Darling Nikki, When Doves Cry, Little Red Corvette, Dance Mix, Do Me Baby, Lady Cab Driver, 777-9311, The Glamorous Life, Housequake, and Batdance.
Yeah.
So there's so many that I could pick from, and I want to think, what's the one that's me off of this list? Oh, okay. I'll make it very simple, but I will say Adore is on my longer list.
For sure.
Purple Rain is on.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah. I Want to Be a Lover. But I'm going to go with The Ballad of Dorothy Parker.
Oh, I knew it. Dang. Yeah.
Quintessential Prince. I don't think he's done a song like it. He's done songs like it, but not on that level. That song to me works any time frame. I know some people will be like, sometimes this song sounds dated, or this sound. All music is dated to somebody.
Yeah,
you know, it just has different sounds that are different. But this song here, reason one why I love it, it's just a masterwork of songwriting. The musicianship going on here, the drum programming, the bass, the Rhodes or keyboard, just unmatched. It is a heavy in my ears. It's a heavy homage to Sly Stone. I was not up on Sly when this song came out, so I didn't get the connections. But once I did fall in love with Sly and just dove all in, and I'm like, God, this is the Whiz Kids interpretation of Sly. You know, it's like if Sly had better sonics of that we have today and the equipment, it would kind of sound. But Prince puts his own thing on it. That's what I love about it. But to me, it is so like acknowledges what came before it, but again takes the technology and Prince's ability and puts it, what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to take what they did before you and take it to the next level.
That's right.
And that's what Prince did here. And I love it. Like, it's just an incredible song. I've heard live versions, some that I didn't care for, some that I'm like, yo, what? It's one of those songs I wish he would play live more, any time period. It's one of those songs that some people can argue, oh, this is what started neo soul. And I wouldn't be mad to say that, but I would say, yeah, but then if you're going to do that, then you might want to say Sly and started neo soul.
There you go.
Essentially, what but it's one of those songs. To me, I see it in the same way I see D'Angelo. D'Angelo himself is a fantastic musician. He has a very unique approach to the music. And you can tell that he was a major fan of music and obviously studied the ones that he liked that came before him. And I think Prince is the same way. As much as we love Prince, his music, I wish I would have ever had the opportunity to talk music with him, because you could tell he is the absolute fan of music. You know what I mean? Like a super fan of music, to the fact that he incorporates. It's like he doesn't I don't think if he's necessarily trying to sound like, it's just so ingrained in him. That's just the way it comes out. Same way I say D'Angelo.
Yeah.
That's just what he studied. So of course you're gonna hear Marvin and you're gonna hear Curtis and Prince and all this other stuff. This is what he grew up on. And to me, at this time in Prince's career, when that album came out, you know, it was it was positioned to us in the sense of, you know, because he had the glasses on, like, oh, he's smart. Like, oh, he's an artist now. It's not just the nasty man jumping around, you know, all that stuff. Now he is refined. Like, it's another level, and you got to respect it. And I think that album is just a showcase of all these different styles to show, like, yeah, man, I've been playing for some years now, and the quality of this versus the stuff you heard before, it's gonna blow your mind. And so, that's the Ballad of Dorothy Parker. It's a fantastic piece of music. That's all I can say about it. That's all I want to say.
Yeah, man. So, got to give a shout out to you, because years ago, I remember you had Susan Rogers on the show. And I remember her talking about how she thought she was going to lose her job because of how it sounded once it hit the mixing board. And it's just crazy to think that, like, just Prince was just in the headspace of, like, no, I actually like how this sounds. Let's keep it like it is. Like, it was one of those things of just, like, it was just meant to be. It was meant to sound that way.
Yeah.
Just because Paisley Park wasn't, quite set up yet. And
well, this is in house.
Okay. Yeah. That's right. That's right.
Just got that board, and this is the very first song they recorded on that, and just hadn't really plugged up properly yet.
Right.
But he was so hyped that I just want to play. Turn it on. So
that's right. Yeah. Thank you for correcting me on that. Yeah. Without a doubt, one of the best songs on the album, and I'll tell you, one of my favorite versions that he did live was on the Jay Leno show. Yeah. And, incorporating songs from Madhouse 8 in there as well. Like, yeah, that was fantastic. And I actually played that song for my mom shortly after Prince had passed, because she wasn't really familiar with that song. Oh, wow. But I like she was one, like, she put me on to Prince and Michael and all the things. So, but Ballad of Dorothy Parker was the song that she wasn't very familiar with, and she was like, I really like this. Yeah. Like, so to play it for somebody that grew up, like, let's see, when Sign of Times came out, she was 17. Okay. So y'all are about the same age. So she didn't, like, she just heard what was on the radio. And of course, she had her albums and stuff like that, but she didn't have Sign of the Times. So when I played that for her, she's like, I really like this song. I'm like, good. Because it's like, I may have to kick you out of the car if you say it ain't.
Your mom's out.
No, I'm kidding. I love mom. I love mom, man. She's great. But no, dude, your top 10 list is insane. So I'm curious to see what you wanted to add to the top 10 that didn't make it.
Well, I had 20 here. So, I mean, there's Controversy.
Yep.
Adore. I was waiting to pull. I was maybe just going to pull this one on you when you said Get Off, but I went a different direction. Irresistible Bitch.
Oh, that would have been a tough pick.
To me, is like, especially listening to it now, that's rap. That's just rap all the way.
Yes, I agree.
We didn't want to associate him with that. Rap wasn't necessarily as respected at that time, but listening to it now, it was just some funk. It was just rapping over funk. That's it.
Yeah.
And it was the same cadence and styles you hear on Get Off. And actually, the attitude was even more pimpish.
I agree.
Irresistible.
Yeah.
I love the way you walk. I mean, it was just pimp shit all
right. I agree.
Erotic City.
Yeah. Probably his best B-side.
Yeah. Then I was Do You Lie? Just to
show, like, that would have been a great pick to show his range. Yeah.
The range of it is
dang.
And then, I had Nasty Girl again, just kind of showing, like,
Proteges.
Purple Rain. Then lastly, I had Want to Be Your Lover.
Yeah.
I think great, just something from the 70s. And it still works today.
Yeah.
And last two was Kiss and Uptown.
Okay. I like that. Again, just straight like 5 out of 5 on all those songs. So again, some of the listeners are probably thinking like, like Chris, like just straight up, just pick nothing but ballads and slow jams. But that's the dilemma of like picking a top 10 is like, there are a lot of great songs that he put out, but I was trying to like focus on what I think are like the elite of the elite. Mm-hmm. So I'll start with the obvious one that I did not name. They're probably screaming right now, like, why didn't you say Joint Repetition? So again, as I was listening to it, it still sounded like 86 to me. So I'm like, I don't want to get by on that technicality. You know what I'm saying? So like, I wanted to pick it. All right. So outside of that, I had 7 on my list. I did have Crystal Ball on here, but again, it sounds a lot like 86 track.
I was like mad at that though.
I know. I wanted to. I was fighting with myself not to pick it. I was fighting with myself. Got Damn You, Dark, Dinner with Dolores is probably my favorite song on Chaos and Disorder. I had Dolphin on here. Dreaming About You from Emancipation.
Let me stop for a real second. You mentioned about now that you're saying, I mean, a lot of these songs are ballads or slow jam, but they're burners. Like
exactly, that's what I'm saying.
I forget that he was probably doing more dope slow jams 90s on than before.
That's right.
The stuff you're saying, like,
yeah. Again, like that's what I'm saying. Like some of your listeners be like, like Chris is just focusing on all these slow songs, but I'm like, a lot of those are like top tier.
Those are,
you know what I'm saying? So
jam.
Yeah. Another top tier slow jam, Insatiable. I wanted to pick it, but again, I only have 10. To work with. I did have Love to the Nines on here, but again, it was on the fringe because of Tony M. Right. That's it. But I love the fact that you think it is worthy of, like, hey, the rap needs to stay in here. Sexy MF was another like dance type track that I wanted to include, but I'm like, well, Get Off is like superior, so I'm gonna give that the nod. I'm probably gonna surprise some people when I say this. Strange but True.
Oh,
that's one of my favorites.
Okay.
And to me, like, had it been released as an 80s B-side, it like people would have gone crazy over it.
That Rave?
Yeah, that was on Rave into the Joint. Fantastic. That's right. The Love We Make from Emancipation. Yep. And then 2 more songs I had The Ride from the Undertaker album. Almost picked it.
Okay.
And then the last one was Thieves in the Temple. I figured I had enough Graffiti Bridge stuff on there. I needed to kind of switch it up a little bit. Yeah. So I had a lot of songs I wanted to pick.
Yeah, something from that time that you didn't pick that I would have picked.
What's that?
I'm trying to think. There's so many albums.
I know.
So many albums. Something off of Crystal Ball. I just can't place it in my mind at the moment. But it's true. A lot of those songs are from different periods. But
yeah, you thinking of Days of Wild?
That would be one of the ones. I like the original studio version though, which I don't think
me too.
Should have been released, but that song. I think if that would have been released properly, that's one of those planting the flag. Like, okay, we're on the new thing now. This is the new direction. Because I remember when that first, it was on the Beautiful Experience, that same videotape that I talked about. That blew my mind when I saw. I was like, this man, he kind of coming for us now. Like he got the rap anthem, and then the whole ideology behind it. And I was just like, man, we're not ready. I'm like, how is this not coming out?
Yeah,
like, this is some of his coldest shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, man, solid. All these choices. I mean, everything you did. I can't necessarily argue any of them. They're songs. But this has opened my eye, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to make me another playlist.
Yeah.
These 90s kind of slow jam. Ah, man.
Mm-hmm.
Dreaming. Was it?
Yeah, Dreaming About You. Yeah, Dreaming About You is one of my favorites on the whole album, man. But again, the only reason that I didn't pick it was because of the argument I was trying to make for Let's Have a Baby. I was like, that's got to be on the list. So, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think? Love to hear your comments in there. What songs did we What's the obvious ones we forgot?
Yeah, I'm sure there's some obvious ones.
Well, one song I wanted to put on there and I totally forgot, excuse me, was, and I should have put this on there, Just My Imagination.
Oh, from Small Club 88. Yeah. Sheesh.
I still want them to jack that back and just go on and put that out.
Man.
That's a smoke. The world needs to hear that guitar. Yeah, you like Super Bowl performance is dope. Yeah. But to me,
that right there,
you just put that on or let it play loud. That'll take you somewhere, man. That'll take you somewhere.
Like, it's so good. I got it now. Like, I got the timestamp etched in my memory. If you skipped it 2 minutes and 28 seconds, that's when he goes into his guitar, and you're on a ride for the next 5 minutes. You're good. Yeah. You're done.
Yeah. I almost wonder. I wondered, did he know that the life that performance sort of took on? And
I don't know,
because I'm like, dude. Because I said, for me personally, if I was in the camp, like, yo, you got to put that out. I don't.
Right.
I mean, come on, man. Like, feed the streets. They don't even know what they need.
No.
You got it.
Yeah. And that's the thing is, like, we got to wonder with the Prince estate, how many other projects are they sitting on that we're not even privy to? We don't even know. Right. But they're on that level of a Just My Imagination, Small Club 88. You know what I'm saying? Like,
how many of them are they sitting on that they don't know?
Right.
Sitting on.
Exactly. Like, things that we know, be like, hey, you need to, like, the streets need this. You need to do it. Yeah. No, I totally agree with you.
All right. Well, there you go. 80s versus 90s. Chris, myself, we dropped 10 for 10. We'd love to hear what you guys think. What are some of your picks out there? While you're thinking on that, writing it down, maybe dabble into the 2000s.
Yeah.
And give us some songs in there as well. Chris, where can they find you online?
Yeah. On Instagram, at Chris Lacey 1990. That's ChrisLacy 1990. All
right. You can always find me here on YouTube, on the channel. But we're a little rushed. So we get out of here. We get on board. That's the Star Wars thing. We'll work it like a job. See you next time. Peace.